From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Ants Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, the temperatures definitely weren't as warm out there today. Temperatures will continue to drop. In fact, the cooling trend that we're experiencing right now will peak on Thursday. We're also tracking the potential for some mountain thunderstorms. Now, I'm not expecting a ton of mountain thunderstorms, and I don't expect them to reach this severe level, but this time of the year, we have that potential for dry lightning strikes, and that's something worth monitoring very closely, and then warming up again near the end of the week, and in particular this upcoming weekend. As we expect here as we go through the night tonight, temperatures in the low to mid 60s tonight in the valley. And look at these temperatures continuing to drop, only reaching about 95 degrees for Wednesday in Redding. For Red Bluff, about 92. In Chico, about 91 degrees. And for the mountains, I don't think we're going to see a lot of 90-degree readings, mainly some of those warmer spots like Wairika and Etna, for example. But you head out to Mount Shasta City, about 89 degrees for Alturas, 90 in Susanville, and Bernie, about 86 degrees for your Wednesday. Let's talk about that fire potential, and still within that low risk for all of the areas in yellow. Not necessarily really concerned about today, but take a look at this. As we go into Thursday, we're beginning to see levels of moderate risk. Now, there's a reason for that. If you look closely, you'll see up in the very far northeastern portion of this map that we do have some red. That's where we have the best chance for thunderstorms. However, we could see some thunderstorms in the eastern mountains, the southern Cascades, even parts of Siskiyou County as we go into Thursday as well. And it's not entirely out of the question for some of those thunderstorms to come down into northern portions of Trinity County as well. So as a result, the National Weather Service up in Medford has issued a fire weather watch for these areas where we do have that red. We were talking about where those best chances for thunderstorms are. Now that's going to be for Thursday and will expire Friday night as well. So that's where the bulk of the thunderstorms will be. But again, we could see some of those here closer to us here in Northern California. Now, we did see some of that monsoon moisture work its way in, and actually posted on Facebook a little earlier today about that monsoon moisture coming in. And there are a lot of people kind of scratching their heads, wondering what that means, what that's all about. Well, number one, it makes it feel more muggy out here. Number two, you see more clouds. Now, it depends on where you're looking in Redding. If you head off to the east, more clouds. Off to the west, say Trinity County, western Siskiyou County, the coast, all looking at less in the way of cloud cover, minus, of course, the fog along the coast. But that monsoon moisture is also what can be responsible for the thunderstorms that we see in the higher elevations. So there's that monsoon moisture coming in. Now, it's not really the monsoon that's over us, because that's where it is over the desert southwest, right? But we're seeing some of the moisture associated with the monsoon kind of working its way up into our region. So you can see it's mainly in the northeastern portions of the state where we're seeing the bulk of that. And that's where we have the best chances for thunderstorms as well. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's take you into your Wednesday. Now notice where most of the clouds are again as we go through the day on Wednesday. It's mainly off to the east here. And see where the best chances for thunderstorms are. They're off to the east. Now, I have included a chance for thunderstorms for the eastern mountains and not to mention Siskiyou County. I know it doesn't show anything here, but I think the monsoon moisture will be there, and with that, we could be looking at the potential for thunderstorms. Now, as we go into Thursday, look what happens. Now we're seeing it in Siskiyou County. And this is what I was talking about on Thursday. Northern Trinity County could get in on some of that. I still think Modoc County and the eastern mountains could also see a chance for thunderstorms on Thursday. Now we'll take you into Friday, 7 p.m., the afternoon into the evening. Again, Northern Trinity County, Siskiyou County, not to mention Modoc County. And again, I can't take out and rule out the eastern mountains to see some of that. Now, after Friday, I think the chances will start to diminish. But look at the clouds here developing. We can't entirely rule out an isolated thunderstorm for the eastern mountains in Modoc County Saturday, maybe even into Sunday of this upcoming weekend as well. You see the clouds developing here, but it's just not picking up on the thunderstorms. And then going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, we're seeing fairly dry conditions here in the forecast. But we're kind of getting in that time of the year where if we have just enough moisture, the daytime heat can allow us to see what we call afternoon convection. And those are those thunderstorms that we can see in the afternoon and evening hours. All right, so let's take a look at the temperatures. Now, the trend is for them to drop. The peak of that drop will be on Thursday. Temperatures increasing after that. This is the heat wave we have for the weekend, just in time for the weekend, right? Seems like it's been that way this summer, minus last weekend. But it seems like we see the more mild temperatures during the week and the hottest temperatures during the weekend. And we're seeing that here this weekend as well. I'd be willing to guess that eventually as we get closer to the weekend, the Weather Service may issue some heat advisories. So be on the lookout for that. But then temperatures dropping again, mid-90s by the middle of next week. So a bit of that roller coaster ride with those temperatures. All right, so here is Futurecast. Here is Thursday at about 8 p.m. This is the peak of that cooling trend I was talking about. Then we see this heat expand northward into Southern California, and there's some more heat coming in off the west of that. So we have this big bubble of heat that's kind of down to our south. That's what's expanding into our region through the weekend and even into Monday of next week. But then what happens is that heat retreats down the south. This heat kind of comes off to the west, so we have a big dome of high pressure off to our west, a lot of heat associated with that. But what we have here is what's known as a trough of low pressure. Now, that doesn't always mean that it's going to be cold air moving in, but it's not going to be hot air by any stretch. So I'm just going to call it warm. And this is what's going to allow our temperatures through next week to begin to drop after the heat wave we see over the weekend. Whew. All right, so we're talking about the chance for thunderstorms. We're talking about the heat, of course, and the ups and the peaks and valleys of those high temperatures. So for tonight, upper 60s to about 70 in the valley. We take into tomorrow, no triple digits, low to mid 90s in the valley. And there we have those temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, maybe some low 90s for the higher elevations. And there you can see those chances for thunderstorms in some areas on Wednesday. But don't count on a lot of thunderstorms. So this is what it looks like. Now, you'll look at this and you see a lot of lightning strikes, the dark clouds. Don't be alarmed by this, because it's going to be few and far between. So essentially what you're seeing here for all of the mountains, basically for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and the Eastern Mountains, each and every single day starting tomorrow through Friday will be a chance, at the very least, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. So just be on the lookout for that over the next several days. The other story is the fact that the temperatures are dropping and then going back up and then dropping again. All right, let's take a look at the valley, and this is what we're seeing here. Temperatures dropping. The peak will be on Thursday, going back up. There's the heat wave for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then by Tuesday of next week, we'll start to see our temperatures drop, and they'll drop even more as we go into the middle to latter part of next week.